This debate today addresses a subject that affects every community in Wales. Cancer touches us all. Family members, friends, colleagues and neighbours. Ensuring timely, effective care for those facing this devastating disease is not just important, it's essential. Yet despite increased investment and repeated promises, Wales continues to fail its cancer patients. The recent Audit Wales report highlights this stark reality. Our nation is falling short of its cancer performance targets, a failure that is unacceptable. The human cost of this failure is devastating. Wales ranks among the worst in Europe for survival rates of some of the deadliest cancers. For stomach cancer, we are 32nd out of 33. For pancreatic and lung cancers, 31st. These are not just statistics. These represent lives lost and families grieving. Worse still, the gap in outcomes between the most and least deprived communities continues to widen. The Welsh Government has pledged to improve cancer outcomes, yet confusion persists. The Cancer Improvement Plan, the National Cancer Recovery Programme, and the Cancer Improving Outcomes Initiative. 3 overlapping strategies which have created uncertainty instead of clarity. Leadership and accountability are fragmented, leaving the NHS and the third sector organisations struggling to deliver meaningful change. Systemic barriers further compound this problem. One of my constituents was referred for further investigation after her dentist identified a suspicious abnormality. However, because her case was classified as suspected rather than diagnosed cancer, she was excluded from the target time pathway. She waited a year, an agonising year for her appointment, and such delays are not just failures of the system, they are life-threatening. And I recognise that funding for cancer care has risen over the past 13 years, yet workforce shortages, diagnostic capacity and equipment gaps remain unaddressed. Meanwhile, vital charities like Tenovus, which provide frontline support to patients and their families, are struggling due to increased employer national insurance contributions, leaving them £250,000, £250,000 out of pocket. Barriers to care extend beyond delays. Certain cancer drugs approved by NICE for some conditions remain inaccessible for others where they could save lives. One of my constituents found herself in this position. In other European countries, these drugs are available due to larger patient populations providing robust trial data. So why can't we use international evidence to expedite approvals here in Wales? Lives should not hang in the balance because of this bureaucratic hurdle. Early detection is critical, yet on screening programmes, they are failing. Only 500 individuals in Wales have received lung health checks, compared to hundreds of thousands in England. A targeted lung screening programme for smokers and ex-smokers over 55 could save 200 lives annually. Think of that, 200 people, lives saved by doing this. And especially in those disadvantaged communities. Why aren't we acting upon this? And finally, the workforce crisis must be addressed. Oncology services in Wales are critically understaffed, with only 3 oncologists per 100,000 older people in North and West Wales, compared to 10 in London. Pathology services face a looming crisis, with up to 30% of clinical pathologists set to retire within 5 years. We know they're going to retire. Let's now start planning ahead. Investment in AI and automation could help ease these pressures, but this requires commitment to modernisation, not just holding up a poster during an election. Llywydd, Dipri Llywydd, this debate is not just about missed targets or policy failures, it's about saving lives, giving hope to patients and their families. We need stronger leadership, clearer accountability and urgent action. The Welsh Government must set a clear timeframe for meeting its failing targets, clarify the status of its cancer improvement plans and implement the Audit Wales recommendations. Above all, patients must be at the heart of our cancer services. This is not just a call for change, it's a demand for justice, compassion and the lives of those who we serve. And unlike what some may have us believe, the blame doesn't rest with our local health boards. The blame rests squarely at the feet of this Labour government. Yeah.